Let's dive into some sales conversations and all that kind of good stuff. So let's talk about ethically because we're both Christians, right? So what is the secret to selling other people products and services ethically?
Yeah, that's a good question because there's um, a lot of unethical tactics, marketing, and so forth. Um, I really think what caused me, and I'll get into that, but what really caused me to do it ethically was I had a hard time selling in the beginning, even though that's what I did because if something cost X amount of money, I'm like, how can they afford that? It was my limited mindset because I didn't have it. And secondly was, wow, if I charge them $1,000 for this and they don't get the results, like this is not maybe an ROI, they've lost $1,000. They could buy groceries with this. So a lot of it come from the poverty mindset I lived in.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I want to sell ethically, but I want to sell effectively. Like I really want to when I was selling, our first sales job really was selling automobiles. Um, I got that job because I was working in a factory. I was a little bit of a smart aleck. I was mouthy. I lost my job. It wasn't, and I always tell people, it's one time I lost my job and I deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I'd lost my job and I didn't know what to do. And I had just got married. I was young. So what am I going to do? So I said, well, I'm going to sell cars. So I drove to a dealership and said, I'm here to sell cars. Have you ever sold cars? No. And I've bought a few. I know the process. Um, cool. Let's get, it was a Toyota dealership. And I realized really quick, I didn't know what I was doing. They had a great sales trainer. He worked me through some things. I picked up some books on sales. But I saw unethical sales in there. I saw a lot of stuff they would lie on applications. They would lie about the car. They would do, and I thought there's got to be a better way. So really ethical selling to me, if I could sum it up in like one sentence, is truly helping that person see what they need to see or hear to make a good decision. And so I really go more on values and criteria, and I can get into that in a moment, but that's really the core of neuropersuasion and helping people make a decision based on internal values. Now, sometimes those values are not good. Sometimes they're not healthy for them. So we've got to walk through that too. It's a little bit of a journey. The ethical selling or ethical persuasion to me is they have a need or desire that I can meet. And um, if I can help them, this is where some people have said, Wayne, some people would agree and disagree with this. And so it's up to you, listener. But if I know that I can help them and I know they need my product or service, I have a more obligation to be persuasive. When I sold life insurance, I saw people and I'm like, one quick example, I write a policy one evening. The next day, I just moved to Wilmington. I was up in like a New Bern. I wrote the policy. I come back and they called me and they said, hey, Wayne, do you still have that check that we gave you? I'm like, sure. Can you tear it up? We decided against a policy. And I thought, okay, you sure? Okay. I didn't persuade them. I didn't try to overcome that objection. 2 weeks later, maybe three, but no more than two or three, I got a phone call. Hey, Wayne, is that policy in effect? I said, no, I tore up the check.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman had died the night before. And they were, well, we have nothing, Wayne. And there was a $100,000 policy, would have at least carried them for a little while. It taught me that I should have, if I really cared about them, I should have said, wait a minute, it's a $36 check. Let's talk about this. So for me, ethical selling is persuading people to make great decisions. And the only way to make great decisions is number one, get to know your prospect, get to know what they really need. Number two, sell a product or service that's worth selling. And number three is get into the values of what really matters to them. Because 98% of the prospects are never truly, they never go into value-based elicitation. And that's where you find out if you can really help them or should you help them.
Wow, I love all that. And for the record, I agree with you. Like, I believe there is an immoral obligation to persuade people to do something that's right for them, right? Otherwise, you're leaving them trapped where they are, right? Um,
Exactly right.
I'm not all about leaving people trapped where they are.